That kind of make it sound pretty good, even a little bit on the basis side. What do you say?
Yeah, right there, Bassmaster. Sorry if it wasn't. I can't really tell him.
Uh-oh! That wasn't good. Yeah. Hey, $20 bill, I got a grip on your lip. We kind of slid off to the side, so we can get into a little bit of tech talk. That's why I asked them to come down here to 195, because when I was up there on that other freak, it was all about DXing. This time it's about slowing the pace down a little bit and getting into a little bit of tech talk. Hey, $20 bill, we got a grip on you. But when he keys up, he knocks you right out of my box. You probably heard it on the Watergate. When he keys down, you're gone. So I'm going to wave a hand at, as a matter of fact, let me turn this thing around a little bit. Maybe that'll help. $20 bill. I'll be with you in just a second. I'm swinging this thing up here on the north side. $20 bill, talk to me, man. Did it come in any better? No doubt about it. Thank you for your patience and everything. I'm going to play this here gate. This is what you sounded like on your last transmission.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to know what was going on. All right, man. I'm going to sit back and read the mail. Bassmaster, 2013 wave. I'm backing down. I'll see you.
All right, keeping it jam up and jelly tight. Your long distance shootout station. I am your doggone air traffic controller from the Southeast Quadrant with the digital playback. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? I hope it is. Bassmaster gone. All right, now let's make our way around Alabama one more time with that wideband audio. What type of EQ are you using on your rig? Uh-oh, no audio that time. Exactly is a 110. That doesn't sound like a Behringer number just with, 110. I know what you're talking about, the little square box. Yeah, Roger Dave. We had one of those little sharks years ago with the little square buttons and the whole 9 yards. We played around with those things. It didn't quite work out the way we wanted it to. But it's definitely effective. It's definitely getting the job done. The only thing that I'm hearing is that the audio sounds like it'll be more conducive for sideband in that 3KC type of bandwidth where the bass frequencies will really come in. On AM, you need more high-end versus more low-end. If you can lower your low-frequency content and bring up the highs, or sometimes just bringing down the lows will actually allow the high-frequency content to come up to balance it out. That's the only thing that I'm hearing. because I heard you out while you were out there before with all those other stations coming through, and you know the typical CBers is sounding like a bunch of Kawasaki's and Yamahas, and you got that Harley Davidson audio in there, but you don't have that high frequency content, so you were getting taken out. Your signal was strong, but the audio intelligibility was not being translated because your highs were not in the transmission. It was all low frequency. Your audio characteristic is in your radio is bass heavy. More bass, a little bit of upper mid-range, and the highs are rolled off. Mine is just the opposite. I got more highs, mid-range, and the real low frequencies are rolled off. So I'm just on the other end of the spectrum. Well, there's different ways to, go about doing what you're doing, and different ways to feed it. Some guys, they go through the mic check. Some people go through the balance modulator. Some people get it modified where you can tap right into the boards, into the different audio circuitry to get the job done. So there's different ways to do it. The question is, do you have your impedances set up right, where you got highs and lows and lows, or have a transformer to transform the high frequency and low frequency, high impedance and low impedance content, so everything will be sonically, on point. Some radios play well, going directly into the jack, the microphone jack, but other radios you got to do some other things in order to get it to sound good. You might have to get into outboard gear and get yourself an EQ that has that's a programmable EQ, where you can set up your different audio characteristics for AM, FM, upper sideband, and lower sideband, because in most transceivers, a lot of the old ones anyway, when it comes down to the upper sideband, is very high frequency oriented. When it goes to the lower sideband, it's low frequency oriented. When you hear the content of how the transceiver sounds, when you flip back and forth between upper sideband and lower sideband, you get high. You go to upper sideband, you listen to the white noise that's out there, and it sounds like this, something like this. You flip over to the lower sideband, it's like. And when you hear people talk, you hear the low frequency content in their voices a lot more, especially if you're listening to 75 or 40 meters. Yeah, I know a little bit of something about that. And then everybody else is on the upper sideband, so you get the high frequency content. But in order for you to have a very versatile system, you need to be able to have different type of audio voice prints available to you. In other words, the EQ needs to be set where your voice sounds good on amplitude modulation as well as both sidebands. FM, sometimes it can cause a problem if you try to EQ that because of distortion. But on the upper side and lower side, you compensate for the characteristics. On upper sideband, you add more lows. On the lower sideband, you add less. You see what I'm saying? once again, it's a trade-off. For me, I know about those other freaks, and we use different radios, but we also have it set up where it's very versatile. And like I said before, we got a programmable EQ. As a matter of fact, I'm going to push a button on this thing right here, and let's see if I can do something. I'm going to play this back.
That's why I said we progressed and come further than where we were to start with, but I just don't want to get into running too much outboard gear. I'm just not into
Now, what I want you to do is listen to the audio and tell me, can you hear a difference? Now, this is your playback.
That's why I said we progressed and come further than where we were to start with, but
can you hear the audio change?
It's running too much outboard gear. I'm just not into that when it comes to 11 meter AM. I don't mind doing it on like.
Can you hear the low frequency content change? Exactly. So in order for me to have the versatility, everything is just a push button away. If you use a graphic EQ or a parametric EQ that's not programmable, you're going to have to change your settings every mode you choose to go to. Whether you go into 7 megahertz or you go into 14 megahertz, you're going to have to change your equalization setting. So in order for you to be able to sound good in all modes, you need to have an EQ that you can have snapshots. So just as a button push, you'll be able to change the characteristics in just a matter of seconds, instead of it being, well, now I got to turn this knob here. Where was this again? And go through all those changes. That's what graphic EQ people and parametric EQ manual folks do. It sounds good on AM, but it doesn't sound that good on sideband. When it sounds great on sideband, it's lacking stuff on AM. That right there is a pain in the butt. So you just get the right equipment to get the right job. So I'm telling you, you need to change your mindset for a second if you really want to have the versatility. Well, look at it like this. All these transceivers were designed just for communication audio to pass roughly 300 to 3,000. But transceivers will do better than that. They will do more than that. And the guys who've been in the broadcast area or musicians, they know this. All of this high band, high pass, high resolution audio that they're doing now with all the outboard gear, that's new. That is new to them. It ain't new to me because I'm a musician. I've been around and doing this stuff ever since I was a kid. We used to hook different pedals up to do a lot of different things back in the day. But it's nothing new. It's the same thing that the broadcasters have been doing for years. It's all it's like that term, you are what you eat. If you have a good sounding transceiver and a crappy sounding mic, your radio station's going to sound pretty much like crap. So you got to find a good microphone that's going to give you the tonality that you want to get. I say it all the time because a lot of people got a drawer full of different microphones, and each one is in the drawer for a different reason. Too much noise, not enough noise. Crunchy microphone switch, audio sounds muffled, audio sounds bright. The tone of the microphone never gives you what you want. It's always plus and minus. It's giving you this and it's taking away that. But if you get a microphone that you can fine-tune to your voice characteristics and match with your radio, all you have to do is use that. That's all you got to do. It's all about the tone, the equalization. Bobby Joe may use a Kenwood. Fred may have an ICOM. And Jim down the street may run a Galaxy. The question is, how's it going to sound with your voice? So you find a microphone that's going to give you what you're looking for, and you go with the equalization to max it out that way. When it comes down to these radios weren't designed to do this and that and the other, AM or sideband, none of these radios were designed to have all that extra audio pumped through it. None of them were. It can do it, but it wasn't designed that way. Think about it. The element on a lot of these radios only costs probably a fraction of a cent. They made so many. They sound like crap. As soon as your voice starts to get a little it starts to break up. You never see anybody in a recording studio or radio station using any of those crappy-looking microphones that you use out here on the CB band or even on the ham bands. You don't see that. You know why? Because they're using quality microphones that can have the frequency bandwidth and also can accept high sound pressure levels without distortion. They know what's going on. It's just that a lot of people out here on the radio, they don't think about it that way. They've probably seen it, but they have no idea what it really means to broadcast.